Okay, so we are in the Ace Hotel in Sydney. I have been generously gifted and it is actually superb. Also, how cute is this letter that they left for me? Oh, thank you, Ace Hotel. But coming in and seeing this when I am sober, so I quit alcohol like 5.5 months ago. And it's funny because like the way that being sober has positively impacted my business is so obvious to me. And I think that like I don't talk enough about how important it is to like look after yourself when you're running a business. So I thought I'd do a little vlog, a little hotel vlog about sobriety, because look at this. Not only do I have a free drink to enjoy downstairs at the bar, there's just like all of this really fucking nice alcohol like right at my fingertips. Alas, I'm going to make a tea because the only person that it affects if I give in to temptation is myself. But it's like when you are alone in these spaces and you have the opportunity to drink and no one know about it, it's easy, but you have to resist those temptations. Anyway, I'm going for a True Calm tea, no caffeine. I'm also like kind of obsessed with a minibar. And you know what I also love? One condom, free rubber. Like that is iconic. See, look, more wine, Pinot Noir, like I swear to God. It's really hard to be sober and to not like give in to the temptation sometime. Okay, so I'm gonna get a bit spiri because that's like the approach that I take to most things. I feel like, but for a long time, I have known like the energy of alcohol is not like an abundant, high vibrational frequency energy. You know what I mean? I felt conflicted for a long time because I love to cook and enjoy wine and understand like, you know, there's so much art and love and time that goes into like creating a beautiful wine, and I love how alcohol can really complement like the things that you cook and the things you eat. But last year on my birthday, August 1st, I remember I was having my favorite martini and I had a couple of glasses of wine, and the next day I woke up and I was like, what am I going to let go of this year that isn't supportive and that is going to get me closer to my goal? My goal has always been to go to Europe. I've never gone to Europe. I've always talked about it. I've been like, yeah, I'm going this year, I'm going this year, I'm going this year. Never fucking made it, right? I just came to this realization. I was like, how, like my main reason for not going to Europe was like that I didn't have enough money. And like I've always, in the last 2 years, every single dollar I've made goes back into the business, right? So when thinking about that, like, of course I didn't have money, like a spare $30,000 to like go to Europe because I'm putting it back into my business. But I was like, if I can find and create the income I needed to sustain my lifestyle and my business, you best believe I could get myself to Europe, but like, what's my block? So anyway, I was like, what is not supportive? What's reductive? And I was like, alcohol, because it slows me the fuck down and it's expensive. So I decided to quit alcohol that day, and every single time I wanted to drink, like I had the craving, or I was in a setting where I would typically drink, I transfer that money into a savings account that I can't touch. Anyway, I think it's important to talk about how not drinking has like positively impacted my business. I wasn't necessarily doing it for like health and wellness reasons, even though I knew that the health and wellness reasons would clearly show. Like seeing the flow and effects of not drinking alcohol, it's not just like physically your body, it's like the mental strength, the willpower that you have to exercise to be in your everyday life and to say no to alcohol, that is everywhere. It is fucking everywhere. When you stop drinking it, you realize that it's everywhere and everyone's doing it all the time. But when you start realizing that like you go into situations where you would normally drink and then you're not drinking, so you have to become so hyper aware of like that feeling. Realistically, I could be like, fuck it, let's do it, fuck it. But the only person that's doing a disservice to is myself. Like no one really cares if I broke my sobriety, but it's me. It's my own commitment to myself of being like, no, I'm not gonna do that. 1 year without drinking, I'm saving that money, I'm getting my ass to Europe. Now I have to get ready because I've got 30 minutes until the dinner. Anyway, I guess like the ways in which it like positively impacts your life, the way that I don't have like this brain fog constantly. The older that you get, the less you can handle drinking and partying and do all these things that, you know, don't actually set you up for where you're wanting to go. When you're a business owner and you have staff, the responsibility of paying other people's bills, like putting food on other people's tables, paying their rent, like all of that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't want to be the type of boss that's like chaotic and messy and not setting themselves up properly, because it's like, I'm not looking after myself on a Sunday, which is such a sacred day for me. Like, you know, cleaning my home, getting up early, like doing my grocery shopping, make sure I have food. All of these things filter through, and just by removing alcohol, like I still go out and have fun and party. Don't get me wrong, honestly, the first month was hard. I was also smoking a lot of weed to counteract the fact that I wasn't drinking. Like I was smoking quite a bit in social settings because I was like, oh, I'm just feeling like, you know, I don't have that buffer. I was then just moving my substance or like coping mechanism to another substance, and that's just like not it for me. I guess I'm not trying to make a point. I just wanted to share this because I think, you know, I have a lot of girls like message me and ask like, how do you do it? Like I tried to go sober and I fucked up and I relapsed, and this is probably like my 7th time I've done like a sobriety challenge with myself, but this is definitely the longest. I've never done a year. And I guess like what I want to say is like, it's not easy, but like you're gonna have moments where you fuck up. Like I am not letting myself do that because I've done so many times of like having chunks away, and you just start understanding more and more like what you need to implement to take away the temptations. Do it when you're doing it for like a really strong purpose or intention. If you're just doing it to be like, I don't want to drink, it's like, have you thought about your why? Like, what's your why? Why are you not drinking? Are you not drinking because you see an influencer not drinking? I guess like what I'm also getting at is like the mental clarity that I get to have in my business by like not spending my weekends getting drunk. That doesn't mean that I don't go out and enjoy myself. I do, but I'm not caught in that loop of doing it every fucking weekend. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that I would come on and share that, because if you're watching and you follow me on Instagram and like you have had thoughts of like trying sobriety, you feel inspired, like just think about where you're at in the point of your life and like what your why is, because every time it gets hard, the only way that you're going to stick to it is by coming back to your why and being like, don't forget, this is why I'm doing it. Why am I giving up alcohol for a whole year? To get my goddamn 29-year-old ass to Europe. A huge hack of not drinking for me is like, before you go into a social setting, check in with yourself. If you're feeling like extra anxious and you just know that like the temptation of like having a buffer there, having a drink is going to be there, like maybe think about, okay, do I really need to put myself in this situation? Is there a different social setting or a different circle of friends I can hang out with? Engage in activities that aren't really centered around drinking. Communicate to your friends like, hey, I'd really like to do more activities that aren't centered around alcohol. Find non-alcoholic drinks that you like. My favorites have been Asahi Zeros. You can buy them from Coles and Woolies. Taller drinks, non-alcoholic wines are great. There's really a great selection of non-alcoholic drinks now. Okay, real question though. How the bloody hell am I gonna wear my hair tonight? Because I've just washed it and I realized I'm wearing a dress that probably looks better with my hair up, but my hair is looking very healthy. Anyway, let me get dressed. I'll show you the fit, and then I've got to